What's up, y'all? Today I have a fun little video. I categorized the NBA by alphabetical letters. So we have all of the Philadelphia A here. So we have all the best players with the last name that starts with A, and I'll run through this lineup real quick. Starting off with Kareem and Giannis Antetokounmpo, with Carmelo Anthony, Ray Allen, Nate Archibald, Gilbert Arenas, Paul Arizin, Mahmoud Abdul-Rahif, LaMarcus Aldridge, Denny Avdia, Mark Aguirre, Kenny Anderson, Bam Adebayo, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Alvin Adams. So that was the A team, and I have 26 other teams like this. So B, I'm not gonna go through everyone, but I'll go through like the top of the lineup. So it's Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Elgin Baylor, Rick Bailey, Jaylen Brown on this team, Jalen Brunson too, and Junior Bridgman at the bottom. Chicago C, this is Will Chamberlain, Vince Carter, Bob Cousy, Dave Cowens, Cade Cunningham, Billy Cunningham, Mo Cheeks, Doug Christie, and Doug Collins. So they got some solid players there. Mike Conley as well. Cleveland D is Tim Duncan, Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant. Okay, so that's kind of a fire. Anthony Davis and Clyde Drexler. That's a good team. Joe Dumars, Mel Daniels. Okay. DeMar DeRozan, Jalen Duren, Kevin Duckworth. Boston E is another solid team. Julius Ervin, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid, Pat Ewing, Tari Eason. Not a lot of them, so I had to go down to Tyson Etienne, Dante Exum, and Drew Eubank. That's how you know there weren't a lot of E names. And I'm letting you know, there's just one team completely blows everyone else out of the water, and I'm guaranteeing you that they'll win the finals, but we'll keep looking. So the Fs are Walt Frazier, Will Be Free, Michael Finley, De'Aaron Fox, Cooper Flagg, already on here, Jeremiah Fears, and we gotta have Simone Fontecchio. So they're kind of cooked. Memphis G is Kevin Garnett, SGA, George Gervin, Marcus Gasol, Pau Gasol, Paul George too. So this is another solid team. Manu Ginobili, Draymond Green. Then for H, we got John Havlicek, James Harden, Penny Hardaway, Elvin Hayes, Dwight Howard. So that's a solid team. Tyrese Halliburton, Tim Hardaway, Gordon Hayward, Drew Holiday. And we got Miami I. So this is just Iverson, Kyrie, Dan Issel, Zildjius Ilgauskas, Brandon Ingram, Joe Ingles, and Jonathan Isaac. So we have a bunch of filler players down here because there were not enough I last name players in the NBA. Current NBA and all-time teams is what I used. And then this is the team it's everyone else just give up at this point. Like real rap, the Charlotte J. The J last name it's stupid. It's literally goated. LeBron, Magic, Michael Jordan, Nikola Jokic, Dennis Johnson, Marquez Johnson, Bobby Jones, Jalen Johnson, Joe Johnson, Kevin Johnson, Jim Jackson, Richard Jefferson, Antoine Jameson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Trey Johnson. But we could have had a team just of Johnsons. Like real rap. This is insane. So yeah, my money and my finals pick is them. If they don't do it, you know, whatever. And then this one, they have to make you do at least 3 letters for a name. So for the K team, I said, this is the Utah KK, not doing that. Like we ain't doing, you know, I was like, we ain't doing that. We ain't supporting that crap. But yes, Jason Kidd, Sean Kemp, Bernard King, Andre Karolinko, Larry Keenan, Chris Kaman. Hey, look, Constantinople made his way on here too. And Kuminga, Corey Kispert, Luke Kennard, and Tyler Kolek. So that's not the best team. Next up, the Sacramento L with Kawhi Leonard, Jerry Lucas, Damian Lillard, Bob Lanier, Kevin Love, Kyle Lowry, Brooke Lopez, Zach LaVine, and Kevon Looney. So that's a solid team, but again, I don't think anyone's going to beat the J team. But Karl Malone is leading now for the M's with Moses Malone, T-Mac, Kevin McHale, Donovan Mitchell. Honestly, M is this is a pretty good team too. They might even be deeper than the J team with George Mike and Bob McAdoo, Sidney Moncrief, Alonzo Mourning, Chris Mullen, Tyrese Maxey, and Yao Ming is their worst player. That's pretty good. Los Angeles N is Nowitzki, Nash, Nance, Bob Netolicki, never heard of this guy, Joakim Noah, Norm Nixon, Swen Nature, haven't heard of him either, Jameer Nelson, Andrew Nemhard. It's a pretty trash team too. O is another one that they didn't have everyone. Well, they did have enough, but it's bums towards the end. Takeem, Shaq, Jermaine O'Neal, Don Ole, Charles Oakley, Onyeka Okongwu, Kelly Oubre, Isaac Okoro. Pretty trash team, honestly. Jaleel Okafor, pretty trash. P is another good one. P is a good one. Chris Paul, Scottie Pippen, Tony Parker, Gary Payton, a lot of point guards. Bob Pettit, Paul Pierce, Robert Parrish, Mark Price, Drazen Petrovic, Michael Porter Jr., let's go, and then Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, so that's a solid little team here. And then Q, U, Y, and Z were so limited. I could fit them all onto one team, so that's what I did. And this team still sucks. Like, it's crazy. Like, I combined 4 letters, and they still suck. So the Q, U, Y, Z team is Wes Unseld, Trey Young, Visca Zubac, Derek Queen, Manuel Quickly, Neemias Queta, Yershawn Yabusele, Trevelin Queen, I didn't know who that is, Stanley Umido, Cody Zeller, Chris Youngblood, Rocco Zikarski, Koi Yongzi, Jameer Young, and that is all. We didn't even have a full squad. We have to have have Bum DeLon Wright on this team too, who's lower and he won't be playing. But yeah, so yeah, we had to combine a bunch of names for that. Next up, we got R, which is another solid team. Oscar Robertson, David Robinson, Derrick Rose, Willis Reed, Mitch Richmond, Dennis Rodman, Michael Ray, Richardson, Austin Reeves, Julius Randle. So that's a pretty good team. Then S, we got John Stockton, Dalton Shays, Amari Stoudemire, Ralph Sampson. On here, they got Domantas Sabonis, Arvydas Sabonis, Pascal Siakam, Purvis Short. Okay, that's solid. Then the T's, I think this is another mid team. Isaiah Thomas, David Thompson, Nate Thurmond, Klay Thompson, Rudy Tabanovich, Amen Thompson, Hedo Turkoglu, Jeff Teague, and Azor Thompson. Then we just have this bum team. It's a filler team. The Pistons are a filler team. Toronto V is another trash one. It's Van de Wecke, Dick Van Arsdale, Keith Van Horn, Nikola Vucevic, Fred Van Vliet, Jonas Valanciunas, Devin Vassell, Tristan Vukovic, Gabe Vincent. So there's one more to go through, and this is the W team is another really fire team. So this one might actually be like my finals favorite out of the West. I think it's going to be W versus J, where they got D Wade, Jerry West, James Worthy, Dominique Wilkins, Russell Westbrook, Wembanyama, Bill Walton, JoJo White. Like they have a team right here. Chris Webber, J-Dub, John Wall, Ben Wallace. Like that is the only other team I could see rivaling this J team. But for me, easy finals pick is J team versus W team. That's my prediction. Let me know what y'all think. And for absolute scientific precision, I'm having injuries off, chemistry off, morale off, everything is off. So purely we will be able to see who is the best. Like I said, I'm putting all my money on the Charlotte J team. Maybe the W team could get it done, the Rockets, but I don't think so. I'll see y'all at the end. And in an absolute shock to me, the J team only won 50 games, and they were top 4 in their conference. They weren't even the best. But Bob Pettit for the P team, I was about to look like which team is this, but I just gotta look at their last name. Wins MVP with 20 points a game, 11 boards, 3 assists, 55% from the field, and 46% from 3 from Bob Pettit. Okay, Cooper Flagg on the F team wins Rookie of the Year. That makes sense. Derrick Rose wins 6th Man of the Year for the R team, and Defensive Player of the Year for the P team. Okay, so I'm assuming maybe the P team had a good run. Clutch Player of the Year goes to Iverson on the I team. Mike Brown. Oh, who were the Knicks? Okay, the Knicks won 71 games. See if we can find out what letter they are. All right, let's see the standings. Number 1 seed was the M's. Yeah, the M's was a great team. The D's, C's, and E's were all above the J's. That is whack to me. How about in the West? West was the P, then the L, then the W. Okay, so who was the worst? The worst was the Pistons. Okay, but followed by the V's, and then the three combined team didn't even make the play-in. That's crazy. They went 22-60. And they had 4 combined letters. V also didn't make it. That's crazy. In the West, the KK not gonna do that. Didn't make it. Thank God. Oh no, they did. They made the play-in. My bad. Okay, so pretty much everyone in the West was guaranteed a playoff spot, play-in spot at least. Yeah, the Los Angeles FFF made it. NNN made it. But yeah, it was like P, L, and W. I'm saying these letters, but I'm not gonna remember any of these when I get back into it. But whatever. Let's see. I don't think any of those were too shocking. Yeah, none of those were really shocking. So let's just see the first playing game. NNN versus OOO. Steve Nash, Aaron Neesmith, Larry Nance, Dirk, and Joakim Noah versus Hakeem and Shaq. Hakeem and Shaq down low is so filthy. With Kelly Oubre, Josh Okogie, and then Don Oil. I think OOO is gonna win because I think 2K itself values power forward and low post like players more than it values perimeter guys. So having good low postmen helps out a lot. So that means I think the Magic or the OOO team will win this matchup. And it's coming down the wire, bro. It's a 6-point game. Yep, nope, I was wrong. So Shaq's gonna have to play again, but that means Dirk with 28 points and 16 boards makes it into the playoffs. Shaq had 27, 9, but he's gonna have to play again in the play-in. So FF versus KK, Krusty Krab, that's what I'm going for. So let's see, is Jason Kidd, Konkonopel, Bernard King, Andre Karolinko, and Chris Kaman versus World B. Free, Walt Frazier, Kyle Flipowski, Dorian Finney-Smith, and then Michael Finley. Okay, all right. Oof, they're both like very bad teams. I'm gonna lie, not very bad, but like comparatively, like when there's another team with Michael Jordan, LeBron, and Magic Johnson and Jokic, like it's all comparative. So yep, oh my god, they won by 1 point. Look at my slow self. But the KKs are out of here. That's good. Even though Jason Kidd put up a triple double, he's out of here. Michael Finley and the Fs will take on the O's in the second round of the play-in. Over here we got the Atlanta HHHs against the Indiana S's. The S's I thought were going to be a lot better team than this, but the H's have Derek Harper, James Harden, John Havlicek, Elvin Hayes, and Dwight Howard up against Şengün, Dolph Schayes, Detlef Schrempf, Bill Sharman, and John Stockton. How is the entire team white? What the frick? Bro, is that popular? Is S a white guy last name? I don't know. That's all right. That's just something I noticed. But let's see who can win. S versus O. No, what's the other? H. S versus H. It looks like, yep, H is going to take this. H is going to take this pretty easily. John Havlicek with 23 points and Harden with 23 as well. Amari Stoudemire coming off. Why? I don't get why they had. Oh, I guess they have, yeah, Dolph Shays, right? Yeah, okay. And Schreff. All right, so they're going to have to play again. And then we got the A's versus the I's. AI versus Hey, Kyrie and AI is a filthy backcourt. But Jesus, how is this team a freaking play-in team? Like, looking at this lineup, that's insane. Freaking Nate Archibald, Ray Allen, Carmelo Anthony, Giannis, and Kareem. How did they lose? Like, ever? Legitimately, how did this team ever lose? This is ridiculous. Going up against Dan Issel, Sildra's Ilgauskas, Brandon Ingram, Kyrie, and Allen Iverson? Bruh, what? I think sometimes it's just the teams, too. Like, I think if it wasn't the Sixers, yeah, look at this. I bet you that team would have won. Like, if we used, like, I don't even know. Oh, look, they do win. I didn't even have to complain. I didn't even have to use the Sixers victim card. But, like, if they used a different team, I bet you if they used the Knicks, they would have been the #1 seed. I'm telling you. I am telling you. But Kareem puts up 30 and 13. Ray Allen put up 22. Kyrie put up 30 and 25 for Allen Iverson, but they are eliminated. So now we have O versus, that's a K? No. O versus, I don't remember who. Who's this team that just won? O has been eliminated. What? The K team survived? How? What? Oh, I got confused. They won by 1. Bro, the K team staying in. Krusty Krab, bro. Okay. So now over here, A versus S. Two teams I would have guaranteed thought would have made the playoffs. One of them's not going to. It looks like A is going to make it in. A could possibly give M a run for their money. They really could. This is a really good team. Carmelo, Kareem, Ray Allen, Giannis, Paul Arzon, Gilbert Arenas. Like, bro, that's a really good team. They could really give that team a run for their money. So, as you can see, it is all self-explanatory. I'm in the way here, but I will sim until there is a closeout game. But yeah, you can see the matchups here. And if there's any question, I'm so glad I did the abbreviations. So now we just know. We know which letters are going up against each other. But let's see. I will show you when it is a closeout game. Let's see it. And our first game, elimination game, comes with the Cleveland D's being up 3-0 on the Atlanta H's. And this honestly makes sense. Anthony Davis versus Dwight Howard in at neutral. Tim Duncan on Elvin Hayes. Give that matchup to Tim Duncan all day. KD on John Havlicek. Give that to Kevin Durant. James Harden versus Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars was a feisty defender back in the day, but definitely give that matchup to James Harden. And then Luka versus Tyrese Halliburton. Like, yeah, so 4 out of the 5 matchups go to this Cleveland D team, and it's kind of no wonder they're up 3-0. But let's see. Cleveland D. Yeah, they take care of business pretty easily, actually. Goodbye, Atlanta H. Atlanta H had a good run. Harden, props, but AD and Luka. And Tim Duncan, 19 points and 16 boards. They're advancing to the second round. The first ones to advance. And just when I thought the A's could give the M's a run for their money, Maxey McGrady, Chris Mullin, Karl Malone, and Lonzo Mourning have them 3-0. Despite even all the starters are better for the Philadelphia A team besides Ray Allen for T-Mac. But honestly, I don't know too much about T-Mac. I can't say that. I was about to say, honestly, Ray Allen might be better, but then that's a crazy take. I just like Ray Allen's 3-point and defensive abilities more than I like T-Mac's. But 2K doesn't listen to me, so, or agree with me, because they had them beating us. So Gilbert Arenas put up 25 in that closeout game, 9 for 10 in 32 minutes, 21 for Giannis, but they are eliminated to Maxey, Malone, and T-Mac, all putting up 20. I think I'm gonna change my approach, and the L's have just eliminated the N's. Okay, instead of previewing every single game, I decided to go through a little bit. So P's eliminated the K's, and I would only show you if they were close games. I went through and looked, and the L's eliminated the N's. Like, no surprise there. But the one I'm very shocked about right now is the fact that the E's are up 3-1 on the J's. Like, what? Maybe it's because they have Jalen Johnson at the... I could make LeBron a small forward, bro, or a power forward. He's still a 99. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make LeBron a power forward. Then we have Marquez Johnson in there too, instead of having Jalen Johnson starting. No offense to Jalen Johnson, I think he's gonna be fire, but we need some more bona fide stars right now. But yeah, they're down right now. I'm shocked. In this series, 3-1 to the Boston Eve. Julius Erving, Dr. J was him. Joel Embiid and Pat Ewing down low. That's kind of filthy. But Anthony Edwards and Dale Ellis, like, bro, this should it should not be 3-1. It would be 3-1 for the Hornets. That would make sense to me, but I don't understand. I mean, I get it because it is the Charlotte Hornets at the end of the day as a franchise, and they're done. That's crazy to me. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, Magic Johnson, Marquez Johnson, Dennis Johnson. Johnson, Kevin Johnson, all get eliminated. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Well, who is my pick out of the... Oh, all right. My pick out of the West is still alive. They're up 3-1. Cool. My pick out of the West is still alive. The Houston W versus the New Orleans T's. Yeah, Isaiah Thomas, David Thompson, Hedo Turkoglu, Jason Tatum, and Nate Thurmond are, about to be eliminated by Victor Wembanyama, Chris Webber, James Worthy, Dwayne Wade, and Jerry West. So that makes all the sense in the world to me, actually. All right, and this is impressive. There was not a single close game in any of the elimination games for the first round. But finally, we have B versus C, the closest in names, going up against each other in Game 7. We'll see who can get it. This is the last matchup of the first round. Let's see. It looks like it's going to the B's. The B's have it. And look at this. It's not even close. Not even close. Bruh. Again. So, Elgin Baylor, Kobe. Yeah, Kobe. That makes sense. So, Kobe's still in this. Meanwhile, MJ is eliminated. Wow. So, round 2. I'm going to do the same thing, and hopefully we can get one of these games that's close and I could jump into. But is P versus R. So, the first matchup is W versus L. So, we got Jerry West, Dwayne Wade, Dominique Wilkins, Chris Webber, and Victor Wembanyama against Dame, Fat Lever, Kawhi Leonard, Jerry Lucas, and Bob Lanier. For me, personally, I think it's going to be the Houston W's for that one. Next, we got B's versus D's. So, we got Chauncey Billups, Kobe, Elgin Baylor, Elton Brand, and Chris Bosh up against Luka, Clyde, KD, Tim Duncan, and Anthony Davis. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling like the Cleveland D's are... I feel like now, that's my pick out of the East after the Jays were eliminated. That makes just the most sense in the world to me. Next, we have the Boston E's against the New York M's, and they have Tyson Etienne starting, Anthony Edwards, Julius Irving, Patrick Ewing, and then Joel Embiid. I have no idea how they actually beat the J team, like legitimately no idea. Up against Tyrese Maxey, T-Mac, Chris Mullen, Karl Malone, and Alonzo Mourning. Well, I'm always going to root against Karl Malone, so let's go Boston E's, I guess. I don't know. And then finally, we got Denver R versus Dallas P's. So we got D Rose, Mitch Richmond, Glenn Rice, Dennis Rodman, Willis Reed versus Chris Paul, Drazen Petrovic, Scottie Pippen, Bob Pettit, and Rob Parrish. I'm going to go with the Dallas P's because they have the MVP on that team and Bob Pettit. So I'll show you if and when there's an elimination game. That is close. Wow. Okay. 19 seconds left. Is a 3-point game. And the Cleveland D's are down 3-0 to the Milwaukee B's. They are up by 3 right now. 19 seconds left, but they don't have ball. Okay, so finally we get some action to jump in on. So the Milwaukee B's with Jaylen Brown, they need a 3 here to tie the game. But I don't know if you have to go for a 3 or... Oh, Elgin Baylor gets blocked. He gets fouled on the 3-point line by Kevin Durant. Fouled. Bad move. I didn't see any contact at all, though. Elgin Baylor with the high socks up to his knees, but he misses the free throw. Bro, that's your one specialty. You were playing in the 70s. You better be able to make a freaking free throw. That's like, yeah, that's your thing. That's like 90% of the game back then, wasn't it? It's like, oh, he could hit a free throw. Put him in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Frig. Especially if you weren't Wilt. That's crazy. So now they're down 1. I can't believe that. Baron Davis gets fouled. First, yeah, I think that was a bogus foul, though, on KD. That did not look like a foul whatsoever. Baron Davis makes both free throws. So now they're down by 3 again with 8 seconds left. They do have Kobe, but he's not in the game. Gets Larry Bird for 3. Okay. Chris Bosh with the board. Dude, you had, bro, you low-key had Larry Bird again if you wanted. But I get it because you just break that last 3. But the Cleveland D survived for 1 game with Elgin Baylor having up 25 points. And is that the only... Bro missed 2 free throws? Bro's free throw... Okay. I mean, real life, career free throw percentage is like 78. So I don't know why he missed that. Oh, well. And with 52 seconds left, the Denver R... Oh, my God. Can anyone make a free throw? Are down 3-0 to the P's. And nobody can make a free throw in this. I don't know what's going on. That would have tied the game up if he hit both free throws. Bob Pettit, this is the MVP of our league here. Bob Pettit. Oh my God, I can see why. Bro got goaltended. It still went in. David Robinson with the most aggressive block of all time. Well, the most aggressive goaltend of all time. But it went in. That was cool. So if the R's do not make a 3 here, they are out. And the P's will advance to the conference finals. D Rose. Dude had Mitch Richmond. But I don't blame him because he just missed a free throw. 10 seconds separating shot in game clock. Mitch Richmond, they got to work. Drazen Petrovic playing good defense. Good defense. Doesn't even get the shot. What is up with this AI right now? Legit, what are they on? The P's to the Western Conference Finals. Tony Parker putting up 26 points and 5 assists. 23 for Chris Paul. 23 for David Robinson. Nice. And in a close game, the W are down by 3 with 39 seconds left to the L. But they are up 3-1 in this series. So if they could somehow steal this, they get to advance to the conference finals against the Mavericks. So D Wade with Kawhi Leonard on him. That's a crazy matchup. Russell Westbrook gets a 3. Misses it. Fade away. I don't know if I like that shot. Off balance 3 for Russell Westbrook. Richard Lewis. A 6-second separating shot in game clock. 3-point game. See what Kawhi can do. They have Russell Westbrook guarding Kawhi. I'm getting PTSD as a Sixers fan. Uh-oh. He misses the 3, though. Thank God. Kawhi had a wide open look, but bricked the 3. Wembanyama inbounds the ball to Jerry West, who shoots the 3 right away. Misses it, but Chris Webber with the board to James Worthy for 3. Misses it. Chris Webber does not get the board again, and that will push us to a game 6. Chris Webber was boarding. He was working on that offensive glass. But dang, dude. Jerry West pulled that with no hesitation. He put up 30 points, but it was not enough. So we'll go for another game. After being up 3-0 and 3-1 in this series, it is game 7. It is a 2-point game. The W are up over the L by just 2 points with 18 seconds left. And Damian Lillard almost throws the ball away, gets the ball back to himself, and he scores. 15 seconds left, tie ball game in game 7. W, they were up 3-1, and now it's a game 7. Like, what the freak? So Russell Westbrook with 13 seconds left. You do not need a 3 here. You just need a bucket. Who you getting the ball to? 7 seconds left. 6. Russell Westbrook gets a screen. 5, 3, 2. Gets to the build. What is this shot selection? As it goes to overtime, and it's in the Kings court, bro. They were up 3-1 in this series, and they had every opportunity in the world to get a game-winning bucket there, or play defense and not allow them to score. Like, literally anything could have happened. Now let's see how it works in overtime. 9 seconds left, tie game. What? And the W have the ball again, so there's another chance to win the game. Russell Westbrook can't do it this time. 7 seconds left. 6, 5, drives in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Finds Chris Webber. Makes it. Game 7 buzzer beater, makes it. The ugliest floater I've ever seen in my life. It was off the right, I think it was off the right foot, right-handed floater, while the defender was on his right side. So in any reality, that stuff is getting sent to the moon. The defender's not letting you even shoot that. That's crazy. And Chris Webber wins the series. Golly. Dude, imagine making a 3-1 comeback, and then that's how you lose. That's crazy. Finally. So we have the West set, and then this E team somehow has fought back. They're smart. They put Dr. J at the 1. Look at this. They don't have that bum starting at the 1 anymore. Bro, I don't know. I want to get my hopes up, but they were down 3-0 in this series. Like I said, I don't know how this is going to go. M is probably going to take it, but E is, yep, E falls off. You forced the game 7, but you fall off at the end. Embiid is eliminated. Ewing is eliminated. And it's M versus B. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Yeah, B whooped D in the middle round, and then P whooped on R. So yeah, it is now M versus B. So it's Chauncey Billups, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Elton Brand, and Chris Bosh up against Moses Malone, Karl Malone, Chris Mullin, Donovan Mitchell, and Tyrese Maxey. And then on the other side is going to be the Houston W, Russell Westbrook, Dwayne Wade, James Worthy, Chris Webber, and Bill Walton up against Chris Paul, Drazen Petrovic, Scottie Pippen, Bob Pettit, and then Robert Parrish. So let's see how this goes. And both the number 1 seeds are up 3-0. So Knicks versus Dallas Mavericks. And I really think this is something to do with coaching too. As, yep, the Knicks, the M team makes it to the finals. Like, I don't think, if the J team was on the Knicks, I think they real rap win the finals as well. Easy. They get there at least. And now the W versus the P. Yeah, they're down 3-0. Let's see how this goes though. Yeah, they're down by 20 points in the first quarter. Yeah, this isn't looking good. Yeah, they're cooked. Yeah, okay. So that was a very, very quick conference finals. Robert Parrish, Mark Price, and Scottie Pippen get to the finals. Pippen versus Malone. First of all, not at all what I thought would happen. Nowhere close. Like, these are not the teams I thought would have made it. But is Mark Price, Drazen Petrovic, Scottie Pippen, Bob Pettit, Robert Parrish against Moses Malone, Karl Malone, Chris Mullin, T-Mac, and Tyrese Maxey. So game 1, who does that go to? I want to say, wow, the P team. Yeah, the P team might just, oh, they blew them out too by 30 points. Sheesh. Game 2 though is theirs. All right, so this is a back and forth battle. I like this. All right, game 3. All right, it's a 2-1 series. I'll hop in here. I'll watch some of this for the M team. M is up 2-1 in this series. I'll see if there's any close games. M was up, but P coming back. Bob Pettit, 29 points, 10 boards. He was the MVP for a reason. He was the MVP, most valuable Pettit. Yo, all right, but this is a big one. Game 5 is a big indicator of who wins the series, and it looks like it is the Knicks who have this. Yeah, they are beating up on P right now. M is beating up on P, so they're up 3-2 in the series. Game 6 though, this is a big one. I mean, obviously it's a big one. This is the elimination game. Can P survive, or is this how it ends? Wow, they lost every quarter. They lost every quarter. P, you need to show me a sign of life, bro. You need to show me a sign of life. They didn't. Well, it's a 5-point game with 5 seconds left. This game's over, but yeah, yep, and they do it. The M's are the best team last name wise, and this is shocking to me and also unrealistic. I do not think it would have been this team. Maybe with like the lack of egos, because maybe with LeBron, Magic, and Jordan, and Jokic, I just feel like that's like a goated team. That's legitimately someone's all-time starting five. Legitimately someone's all-time starting five. But I'm surprised how far the P team made it too. But then again, looking at the roster, it doesn't shock me as much either. I think also the coaching had a lot to do with this, because like I said, if you put the J team on the Knicks or the Mavs, they're winning the final. Same with the A team. The A team was pretty good too. I'm shocked at how fast they got bounced too. Moses Malone will be the finals MVP for this team. Yes, sir. So in the closeout game, it was on my boy Tyrese Maxey, 4 for 12 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3, 9 for 9 from the free throw line, putting up 18 points, leading this team to victory with T-Mac right behind him, well, tied with him. And then Kevin McHale, Chris Mullin, Moses Malone, Bob McAdoo, Karl Malone. Okay, so they do, and Donovan Mitchell. All right, so as bad and as weak as like the starting lineup looked for them, they had a whole lot of Hall of Famers on the bench, so I guess that makes sense. And then Moses Malone wins the finals MVP with 16 points, 8 boards, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 53% of the field, and 75% from the free throw line. Not all world beater numbers, but when you have like 10 All-Stars or Hall of Famers on your team, it's never going to look amazing. But yeah, so this was a fun little video. It took me way longer to make the roster than it did actually recording the video, so that's cool. But yeah, if you guys liked the video, I'd appreciate a like. If you have any other ideas you want me to do, let me know in the comments. But with that being said, thank you for watching.